Hello YouTube, this is Sharpening Norway. I'm just gonna try some new natural stones. This is from Takeda, Shosui Takeda. It's a Ohira, medium hard. I'm ranking it about 8000 grit. It's a very good stone. This is gonna last maybe 5 lifetimes. It's a big ass stone. So I've just wrote on it with a pencil. This is a Ohira suita with some inclusions here and some hairline cracks here. Doesn't seem to affect it yet, but I don't know if there's a possible crack maybe coming. But yeah, I gotten this to borrow. This is my stone. I got this. It got a big crack here, so if it cracks, it cracks. But I'm betting it won't. I'm gonna sharpen a little Mura kniv. I just colored in the whole Scandi. It's about 60-61 Rockwell carbon sandwich steel. This is just to mark which way it goes into the sheet, since you can't see which way, so I know when I put it out, I know this is the edge. So I put force down against the spine here to not dolly, to not put it in and drag along the edge. So I'm gonna sharpen that first. Starting on the Naniwa Professional 1000, just making sure it's flat since I'm doing a Scandi. My stones are usually very flat, so it don't take much. And that was all it took. I forgot. Shall we see here? Something to wipe my fingers on. Sorry about making a weight. I've also added some food stuff. I'm gonna try peanut oil, peanut olje in Norway, and avocado oil. I'm gonna try to see which got highest smoke point. That's avocado oil, but I like really the flavor of peanut oil. So yeah, here I got something to wipe my hands on. I'm gonna sharpen an entire Scandi. This is, I don't know, maybe taking a while. I'm just cutting off the old edge, so it's dull. You see? Dull. If I use lots of force, of course it will cut, but yeah. Is it in view? Yes, it is. It's easy, it's a Scandi, so I'll just lay it flat and I sharpen. I'm not using much pressure, maybe 200-300 grams, and I'm lifting to just get the tip. This is a wood knife, pearly or not pearly, but it's meant to do detail work in wood, like carpentry, or what's it called when you are carving spoon, carving ladles, that thing. Wait just a minute. La ikke du den I sekken, eller? I vogna, eller? My fiancé can't find her phone, so they're now gonna see why I color in bevel when doing long bevels. I've done this on purpose, not because I'm a noob, but you can see I've removed the entire marker except the very tip there. Do you see? The very here. And that's because you need to lift it a little. And it may be a little concave. You see? That's why when learning, color in, color in, color in on maybe 50 knives. There you see, entirety is gone. You really see the cladding line here on this knife. You see that crisp line? That is where the sandwich still is, the cladding. I'm gonna check for a burr. You can still see light. I'm just changing sides. While doing here, I like to just put my thumb on it, and instead of holding here, which I can on this side, I like to torque this way. I'm not ambidextrous, but ambidextrous. How the fuck do you pronounce that word? Sorry for swearing, but yeah, I need an English course. And again, lifting, trying to stay as uniform I can. This is actually pretty hard. It's much harder to sharpen existing bevels than to just make your damn own one, I think. And you see what I mean? I'm much worse. I have a huge spot here, a huge spot here that I haven't got. So I need to change up this. And that's why I don't like, because they aren't completely uniform. I know my stones are flat because I checked that, so it ain't the stone. There, I'm getting still the low spot here, which tells me it's something with the knife, because all here are gone but not here. So that's a low spot in the grind. I don't know if these are ground on a belt or a wheel. I'm pretty sure they're done on wheels. That's how most knives are done today, and I'm careful about not grinding away my fingers. It isn't so bad on 1000, but if you go coarse, trust me, it sucks. It sucks like hell. Yeah, as soon as I tilted and put a little pressure, it's evening out. I see a low spot here. That's, get yourself a good light. We have a light tube going right here. Can you see it's right there? You see on my hand, so I can put the knife. Is that in view? Yeah. I can put here and check. Yeah, I got a polished spot here. That's a low spot because it's more polished than the other, and I got that on the back side too. I'm just gonna check. I haven't gotten a burr, but I'm not far from it either. Again, not using much pressure. This is fast cutting metal and stone, so got a burr in front, but not in back. I'm just gonna check it, how the edges are going on a piece of paper, because it's sometimes on scan is very hard to detect the burr, so just swapping. Yeah, that's what I thought. There is maybe a burr, but it's standing straight up. Just using the lightest of pressure to knock that off and continuing to flattening the bevel. Now not using any force. Yeah, there, I see the burr popped off. So yeah. Sometimes you can be fooled. So again, checking. I can't see any light spots. Tiny bit here. And yeah, on the entire. So that tells me I got a foil edge. The burr was pointing straight up, not across, so I couldn't feel it. So yeah, sometimes you can be fooled when sharpening. You can have been sharpened for 20 years, 30 years, 50 years and still be fooled. So always check. Don't take habit. So I'm just gonna refine it a little. I'm out after the edge, not the polish here. Going edge leading. Just refining a tiny bit. And as you see, it's pretty quick to sharpen from as dull as I can slide my thumb on it. That's dull. Don't, it would cut stuff. It would cut wood pretty good, but it's still in my head pretty dull. They're just dropping a little. It's a terrible sound, but it's, yeah. There. I'm at 12 minutes, and you could actually use this knife now on metal without any problem. Yeah, it wants to grip the meat. So that's a pretty scratchy. But hey, of 1,000 stone, just shopping it on my t-shirt here on my bear belly. Is that in view? Yes, it is. As you see, there, it was wet paper. It's a pretty coarse edge, since how do I put it? I don't do the full apex on the coarser stones. I know that sounds weird because I sharpen to a burr, but then I do a little high pass and drag off the burr. I don't know how to explain it. I sharpen in a very weird way, but it's worked for me for many years. And my edges, I've seen, you see my abuse test with this knife and the chopper from Patrick Alvik. You can see that I banged them pretty hard without any problems to the edges, so I know my edges are good. So I sharpen my own way, people sharpen their way. What works for you works for you. I'm not here telling anyone they sharpen wrong. If the knife gets sharp, well, you sharpen good. If it don't get sharp, or the edge fails, or you still got a burr or anything wrong, then you are sharpening wrong. Then you can get some tips. If the edge fails, maybe you are too low, or maybe you aren't creating a clean apex, maybe you got a burr. I have no clue. There, rounding the corner. Just 100% sure it's completely flat. And people say you are wasting your stone. No, I'm wasting the knife if I don't do it. I want a flat stone. I wash off to ensure there aren't any huge particles slamming into my knife. Because if you got a loose grit or a bigger particle or a contamination or anything that's hitting your edge, trust me, it will add up. I'm just cleaning the cleaning stone a little. I'm going over with that to eliminate the biggest scratches. I'm just eliminating some of the grit on it. There. Just going over it to clean it a little up, hence cleaning stone. The flattening plate is 140, this is, I think it is it 600 grit? This holder, I can't get the knobs hard enough. That is, yeah, too little knobs, too weak fingers. There. Starting, and then Naniwa 3000 is pretty quick. I'm using light pressure here. Just jointing, making sure it's uniform. I hate to follow an existing curve because I have muscle memory that when I make my own edges I can just follow that. So I'd like double sharpened knives with a bevel I could just adjust to my own liking. So I sharpen my way. As I said, people may say it's wrong, and people may say you're doing that or that, but hey, it's worked for me for over, I've been sharpening for maybe more than 15 years. It's worked for me. I haven't gotten edge failure, I haven't gotten edge problems or weak edges or anything wrong, so just doing, raising the angle just a little to hit the edge, creating just the tiniest micro bevel. And as said, I'm not caring at all for the polish. That's a waste of time on a user knife. Why should I polish it when after use it will be scratchy again? It's just my son being put to bed. You see, that's off. No cleaning at all, just a little quick. So, more than sharp enough. But hey, we're not done here. This is a if I use for hard just hugging of wood, I often put it against my knee, like if my elbow here or the knee, I put it like this and drag the wood along here to remove the huge chunks. You see, yeah, starting with my own, the one from Takeda. Ivar Svensson, if you're watching this, thank you. I highly appreciate it. I got to borrow some. I also got a Otto, a Corsair stone, which is 1500, but I thought it was, yeah, I didn't like it. It was 800 to 1200 in my eyes, and a mixed batch of cookies. So I didn't like it. I'm just flattening this, and this was already very flat. And I'm gonna use this paste here. And many use an agura to get actually a finer paste. I actually do the opposite. To start with cutting, I often use this. This is 3000 now. This is around more 8000. But I use this. The stone is 600 through. And just create a little slurry with that too. Getting the worst scratches out. And the smell of natural stones is very good. It smells not moldy but very earthy. Like very earth-like. Like good plant dirt. I'm getting pretty quick slurry. No, sorry. Pretty thick slurry. My English isn't all that good. So, and to use a natural stone, don't use much water. Like just few drops. This is still filming. My ugly mug, yeah, 22 minutes. I'm not using any pressure at all. I'm letting that paste just dry and thicken a little, as it helps getting into the nook and crannies. Just adding maybe one drop, and that does a lot to a natural stone. You can take micro drops, but don't use much water. You can actually do it like this, one-handed, to get fast results. And it's pretty scratchy, as you can hear, but yeah. I'm creating a thick slurry here. I don't like short scandies. If this was 3 times the height and the scandi was this, okay, but I don't like to follow us. It's like a kiriba. I don't like that. Let me sharpen the way I want to sharpen. Give me a full flat, full convex, hollow, and let me decide. Just adding a tiny micro bevel, and I know I said earlier don't cut into apex, but I'm purposely dulling it just to get rid of any burr. I said don't wash off the slurry, but now I want to clean up the apex, so I'm doing it. Actually, I can see some lighter spots now, a little yellow. It's a gorgeous stone. Still the lightest pressure imaginable. I want a grippy edge. I think this would be very sharp now. You see, we're at 25. I can show you it's not polished, but focus. It's not bad either. It's semi-glossy shine, as you see, but you can really see the harder metal pop from the dark gray dull upper cladding. And yeah, it's it's sharp. It grips the skin. I don't want a very polished edge. I want something that grips. So this feels a little jagged, and as you see, it stops. I need to start it by dragging it. It's a slicing knife. It's not a push cutting one. I do the rest on a strop, but that's more than adequate. I use this knife, as said, imagine this is the wood, tilt it like that, and I drag the wood along the edge. So yeah. That's why I sharpen this a different way. My other knife, which is my lava, my darling, the one from Aaron Johnson. You see the polish, that's my ugly mug, that's the phone, that's the kitchen tiles, that's a whole nother story. I'm gonna just thin that a tiny bit. And I know now that this is already flat, so I don't need to flatten it. I'm at 28 minutes. Doing once, twice, 3 times the charm, ain't that something we say? And this could be deceiving, this could actually be very sharp. No, I can touch and slide my thumb, but I can't use any force. This was convex grind, I made my own shinogi here and down on both sides, and yes, that takes time and a good bit of patience and skill. About 2-3 hours on coarse stones. So I'm just getting my muscle memory, ruin my polished, and thinning out a little. This is already very thin, but it could be thinner. I'm thinning out the tip. You see, this is pretty fast cutting 1000 stones. So now I can use the opposite. I can check the scratches, and you see, I can check, yeah, I'm sharpening the upper one, and the lower part of the edge is a little lower, so I haven't sharpened up by the tip. You can see that too. Can you see, this is AC, this is polished. because I made two different parts of the knife. This is more flat, and this towards the edge here is more convex. Just actually a lot like a Janagiba. You see here, I'm moving flat versus convex. I have flat here, convex here. You see that polished. So this is like a Janagiba, right? But on both sides meeting to an absolute scary convex edge. So or is it opposite? The Janagiba, is it convex on the top or down and flat towards the edge, if I remember? So this of course haven't got Ohira or Oshi, how you pronounce it, on the back side. So always stop, check your work. Need to go a little here on the belly. Checking. Yep, that looks good. I'm just gonna move that slowly down towards the edge. I'm not taking off much here. And now, moving towards the edge, changing the pressure, changing where I have my fingers. And this is extremely low. The edge is probably at 10 degrees. And this is outdoor knife. And I do that until a burr and put a micro bevel at maybe 15. So yeah, this is one performance puppy. It's the same with the chopper from Patrick Kalvik. You saw how incredibly well it did on the abuse test, and it's the same with this because I'm laying the edge into the profile of the knife. So yep, I'm very soon there. A little here, and I can show you what I mean. It's gonna be extremely hard to pick up with camera because the very last part of the edge is maybe 1 millimeter, which it stoops down into a strong convex, which I said goes from, this is maybe 4 or 5 degrees to up to 15. You need skill to form that last edge, and it's not bragging, don't get me wrong. Anyone can learn it, but it takes time. Anyone can get a knife sharp, but it takes time to thin, reprofile, and make a knife your own. In the light here now, I can see like if you put 2-3 human hairs here and down towards the edge with light. I really hope you can see this. There, can you see that the very edge is more polished and the rest is a dull gray? I really hope you can see that. I have no clue. I can see it now in the camera, but that's how accurate I do my thinning. You can see how accurate the shinogi is. I can't bring it up more here. The handle should be maybe 1 centimeter longer back. Can take a hacksaw and do that, but I haven't. And you see how accurate the shinogi is. That takes time and skill. I'm not calling myself professional because I'm far from it, but hey, I'm a skilled sharpener. So let's see, just yeah, I got say a millimeter, maybe 2 edge. Just a little here, a little at the very tip. Starting with the very tip, Since that is a place I can just isolate and move in steps. Don't think, oh, I'm missing here, here, and here. Don't think I'm doing all those in one go. No. If I'm missing the tip, I sort out the tip, like I did now. Just a tiny bit more. However, this isn't even a tenth of a millimeter we're speaking here. There the tip is completely down, so I actually got a burr at the tip. That's perfect. Then I said I got a little hair. Just checking. I move my fingers down there. And then after, when everything looks good, I'm doing long sweeping strokes to make everything uniform. So take your time. Sharpening ain't about rushing. There's that perfect. Just a tiny bit more at the heel. There, that's so damn gorgeous. I love that look. Inched towards the edge more. But you can see, I hope I'm gonna try. Sorry for boring you, but I like, you can really see the scratched finish here against the polished edge. And the edge is still sharp. I can easily, you see it gripping, I can easily cut myself if I wanted to. Just checking in the light. Yep, I like the height. It's going here. Swooping up, I like it thinner here. Because maybe I'm using that for detail work, or maybe I'm going into some meat, etc. I'm gonna move the shinogi here a little up on the back side too. And this is my weak side, so here I'm taking it very slow, not to mess everything up. But it's hard to mess something up. That's why I'm not a fan of chisel grinds, because everything is laid out. So if there is an error, which, yeah, I'm not saying anything bad about the Japanese, but the way they make knives is basically faulty. They use a giant round stones, which is uneven, very uneven. And then they base their skill on how good they can make a knife on an uneven surface. If you use a belt sander with a wheel, it would be much better, but the Japanese is about tradition, and they make fantastic knives. Don't get me wrong, but those knives have faults, and when doing those on a flat stone, if you don't got a wheel, it will take time. It isn't unusual, if you want a knife to be perfect, to spend 3 hours, 5 hours, 10 hours, 20 hours, 30 hours. I've seen from very famous makers like Takeda and several others, which are very famous makers, having extremely large errors on the knife that wouldn't pass quality control in several well-known makers around the world. But yeah, maybe there is an apprentice making it, maybe the maker himself is trying to pass on his craft, etc, etc. So I've seen Takeda knives so thick, they are thicker than a stock Victorinox, badly ground, high kiriba on one side, low on the other side, many flaws, because Takeda himself hasn't made it. And yeah, if you watch, I think it's Gregor's Cola or something like that, I can't remember, but was it 270mm Takeda knife, horribly thick. It was so thick that it cracked potatoes. Didn't slice cleanly, it cracked them. So yeah, not saying anything bad about Takeda. Trust me, I would love one of his blades. I would absolutely love it if he were the one that made it. I see I'm a lot more all over the place here. I'm nearing myself here, but here I have a lot to go. So I would love Takeda like K-tip. I'm showing you my favorite knife design. It's from Patrick Kalvik. Just a simple K-tip like this, a gentle sweep. That's one of my favorite knife designs. You can use it for everything, like the Shibata Kotetsu I had. I loved it, but I sold it because it was too long. I don't like long knives. I would love a good chef knife, like 190 centimeters to 210. That's the perfect length, not to be unwieldy. I'm just thinning out around the belly and point. And then it's important, oh, I slipped, to keep the knife moving. Take your time. Don't bear down and think, oh, this is going fast. No, you're just wearing out your stone and hands. So I see I'm nearing here. I need to move a little up there. This is the fun with sharpening. Always improving. Always looking at your work and saying, how can I improve? This side is flawless. My left side is flawless. It's my fiancé listening to music. Just wait a litt da. Ja, men ikke sånn veldig høyt da. Det der går sikkert greit. It's it's a Norwegian show, but it's called The Voice. It's singers and they get training, etc. and see who comes out on top. So now it's probably Cher.
Nei, det suita.
Yeah, but they're singing Cher. They're singing Cher. God, my soul, I really don't think I'm strong enough. Oh. I'm not gonna sing. You're gonna turn off this shit and go fuck this shit. So yeah. But when music comes on, karaoke is the name of the game. I'm gonna show you what I mean. I've taken the belly actually a little too thin on this side towards the edge. So it's the edge which is the problem, so I'm gonna build it up. You see, as I showed you this side, how perfect uniform that is. The edge is the shiny bit. Now this side, there is a huge low spot here. It's snaring out, but that was a little dip from grinding from Aaron Johnson. It's huge. It's probably 1/5 of a millimeter, but yeah. You see, I gotten it out here. I'm nearing here, moving towards the belly. You see how much more polish I need to get up. Now get out here. So I've actually thinned it more here towards the edge than I believed. No, sorry, the opposite, made it more convex, sorry. So I'm just gonna move that out. And yeah, making the both sides as uniform as I can. I don't sharpen much, maybe tops once a week, but often once a month. And then I sharpen for fun. Most of my knives then I sharp for maybe half a year, so I sharpen a lot for fun. This was far from done. My fiancé is laughing at me. I got perfect English, come on. So yeah, just creeping down towards the edge now. That's the beauty of sharpening. You can always correct your errors. I'm moving in here. Here is the trouble spot. And that's always fun to see. No one sharpens perfect. When I'm saying this is perfect, it's perfect for me. It's yeah, don't get me wrong, but there are very few sharpeners that can do knife. How do I put this? A knife for you, because how I use a knife is completely different from how others use it. So my sharpening is perfect for me. If a customer wants me to sharpen a knife for him, maybe I suck, maybe I do something completely wrong for him, but it's good if I'm the one using it. So just making it a little uniform, just to get out any big spots. Still got a huge area to work with. I was probably too tired when I sharpened this side, because I have sharpened for 4 hours, so I have gotten a much higher angle, or much is probably 2 degrees, but the last 3-4 millimeters down there than this side. So hey, I could do this in 300 stone in 3 times as less time, but hey, no hurry. My nose is itchy. You see how little water the Naniwa professional stones needs. I love their 400, 1000, 3000, their 5000 that started to crack, feel gummy. They're a magnesium based recipe. Recipe really needs changing. It's not good. I've never heard of anyone having more problems with Sharpening than with Naniwa. So. Inching towards the edge. Getting the tip. Moving ever so close, and I want to near the edge very, very gently. Very near, except here. So flat spot. Moving in. This is a hard, not very hard, but a harder to grind steel, since it is CRV, but it's at 63 XRC, not normal like 58, 59, 60, but 63, so it's fairly hard. Feels extremely crisp and good on the stone. There, just tip. I have a pretty fair dinkum. I do things, I do it as good as I can, not about polish, but making things performance-wise as even and as good as I can. As I said earlier, I don't give a crap about how my knives look, but how they perform, that they are even uniform, they are well sharpened, they are well sharpened, not well polished, but good sharpened. You can see now there has gotten some grit up there, that's just some grit, but you can see now it's pretty uniform except the edge. So yeah, moving to the edge, and I'm just ever so slightly tilting up. This is very low, where this is flat and I'm there. That's, yeah, barely 10 degrees. Say 10 to 12. And I'm not using any pressure at all. Just the weight of the knife. There's some tiny burr. That's all you need. I'm doing the same on the back side. Then afterwards I'm gonna blend those two in. I don't like a shoulder or anything, so sharpen in a weird way, as I know, but it works for me, and it has worked for me for all those years, so I don't go about changing what's working. Just a little on the belly missing. And it's just, yeah, like the gentlest electrical tingle in your fingers, that's all you need. The belly, as I say, I'm not thin enough there, so I got a little bit to go, but hey, you live and you learn. So I probably raised it a little when going into the belly earlier. So you always live and learn. Just a degree here and a degree there has much to say when a knife is very thin. You can think going from 10 to 12 doesn't sound much, but that's a 20% increase. While going from 20 to 22, it's just a 10% increase. So yeah, thinner edges always, you need more and more control. So hey, yeah, there it's actually quite a lot I need to take off. I'm just moving and making it uniform so I don't got any recurves in my edge. Just flipping the stone to make sure I layer it evenly. And people are watching this thinking, yeah, you use other can sharpen a knife in like 5 minutes. Yeah, I can too. You can just raise the angle and knock out a sharp as hell edge, but yeah, that's just half the truth. Short sharpening videos are half the truth. There. Now I'm just gonna move that burr from side to side, just checking how it flips. Here. Just jointing the edge, making sure it's uniform, raising just a little. I like that person singing now, really skilled. Just checking off 1,000 how my edges are. And I'm not expecting a very sharp knife. I'm expecting a okay one. So yeah, this is okay. It's easily sharp enough to work with. But this I'm gonna go full blast on sharpening. And just so it don't crack in the future, removing a little of it. Just getting some of the dirt away. Going to the 3,000. Just making sure it's flat and scratching it up. So now I'm starting on my weakest side, so if I'm fatigued it won't hurt as much. That's 57. Again, not using lots of force, just letting stone do its thing. You see it's dark immediate, so it's a pretty fast stone on this metal. It helps by making it just scratching it a little with 140 plate. It really helps get the stone starting. It's always like this when you are dirty and sharpening, your nose and face always start to itch. Oh, I'm itching all over. That said, I'm not gonna take this to the mirror polished it had. That took me way too many hours, but then it was like a mirror, as you saw before I started to sharpen. I'm just gonna get a pretty crude okay polish. And okay, I mean just cover up the worst scratches so it doesn't rust as quick. Because more polish means less rust. And again, taking my time doing as even as I can. That's okay enough. We've gotten the worst shit off. People say they care about Kasumi finish, mirror finish. Why? If you use your knives like tools, they are gonna be scratched up, they're gonna not look good. I can respect people who wants a mirror polished, etc. on a chef knife or an outdoors knife, but to me, if I'm using the knife, I want to baby the knife. I want to use it. I won't be, oh, that scratch ruined my mirror finish. So I want to just go out and use it in the kitchen, use it for what it's made for without thinking about if it's maybe gonna scratch a little. So. The Kitayama 4K actually seems to erase the scratches better and quicker. It's a very good stone, the Kitayama 4K. Wanted to use my professional. It's been a while since I used it, so. I won't say it's better, the Kitayama 4K, because that's opinionated, but I like it more, if I can say it that way. But this is harder, more crisp, better to make, more precise cuts, for example, when doing microblending. So yeah, I can show you. And I said it looked like shit, but it worked for me. I'm not taking it up to the ridiculously high mirror polish as it had in my previous videos. It's a waste of time. Just trying it completely so you can see. You see, it's okay, you can see reflections, but you can see it's pretty hazy if I do it like that. You can see reflections, as you see, but it's pretty scratchy too. I'm gonna move to the edge. I felt something on the sun, so yeah, just getting off if there's any clogged metal or particles or something there. And again, using barely any weight. Now I'm behind the edge, just on the shoulder, just thinning out that shoulder and bringing that into the rest of the profile. And I'm doing this, of course, not so much, maybe a degree to just while rocking, just to make it convex and blend that shoulder in to the profile. There was a part of the stone. I could hear it snap. And think it damaged the edge, but yeah, that sucks. You can hear just tick in the edge because it hit something. On a microscopic level, you can actually see how the edge looks like a saw, a very, very fine saw. And that is what does the cutting. Coarser stones, bigger teeth. But every knife and steel has a perfect balance of where it's supposed to be. I've not reached the edge, and that's good. Looks good. I'm gonna go to the edge now. Just a few degrees up. Using barely any weight. I'm gonna go find a strop and strop it afterwards too, but I'm not gonna show that because everyone has seen my abuse test and see how sharp the knife was after doing some serious abuse. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't need to show everything. Just dropping it on a little here. Again, this isn't wildly refining it or anything since I'm gonna strop it, but as you see, that's more than sharp enough. You could shave your arm here with this, so yeah, why need to go finer? I'm just gonna put this away here. And actually I can use this now. I can dry off my own takeda stone and show the other suita. It's nearly the same. I forgot about it actually. You're still putting that away to dry. Many think you aren't supposed to use diamond plates on naturals. I say rubbish, I need them flat. But use extremely light, don't brah. I'm using barely the weight of my hand. I'm actually retaining my hand a little, so. And this smells incredibly funky. Like very earthy, moldy, moose, like not moose the animal, but moss, the green stuff that grows on mountains. Just grinding the corners so I don't seep out anything, because that would suck. And again, using the sword for a little. I said you just need a couple of drops. I'm gonna use maybe 2 little drops, that's enough. One more. I'm just polishing it. It's not sure this is gonna do much or anything, but hey. can't hurt. I'm gonna check actually Swarf seems almost like it did almost complete opposite. I'm gonna try it without Swarf. It's actually not doing nearly anything to the knife. I can't see any metal getting braided, but I can actually see it's polishing up. So yeah, it's like it just moving out the shapes. Well, I'm gonna check with the other natural stone. Just for fun. Because natural stones, some of them don't do shit on steels. As you see now, are barely for creating a toothy edge or a kozumi on harder cladding, etc. So yeah. It would cut if I allowed the swarf to dry up, but that would hurt my edge. Just that little is enough to washing it. Let's see if this got something on my stone. Let's see, where was it? There. Got something that stuck. There's something here. That's inclusion. I can feel it with my finger. Yeah, you can see it. Drawing a stone there. Don't know if you can see it, but right there, I can feel it with my finger. There's a tiny spot, but fuck it. We're gonna see how it does. So. Again, I can't see any swarf or anything that says it's a braiding metal, so I don't know if it's doing anything or not. Moving down to the edge. Polishing up the other side. There is a little inclusion. That's probably gonna work itself out. I can feel it scratching or anything, so. But that's with natural stone. Everyone's different. You can't get a perfect one. There will always be something with it. That's why I like synthetics more. This is gonna be great for finishing the edges because it's hard and it's crisp. So yeah. It's perfect to set up a micro bevel on, a little koba. If I'm not mistaken, that's what it's called. I might be mistaken. If so, correct me in the comments. I'm just gonna go, actually I can show you my stroke. I'm just going to find it, 2 seconds. Let's see. Out there, it's out running the kitchen. There, put it in this Stroppman strap. I'm gonna show it afterwards. Sorry for the delay. This is a very, very, very good stone. It would be perfect with soft cladding to do a kasumi on this. I'll show you quick how it looks. You can see the polish has improved, as you see on the wall there. You can see there, but it ain't, it's far from what they call a mirror. Far, 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 far from it. Just moving through the edge. Now I'm moving to maybe 20, 25, just making the tiniest hairline micro bevel for strength. Just dropping it at the very tip. And belly, that's often a huge mistaken part. And too much stropping can create one monstrous wire edge. So please don't do it on a stone that actually cuts. This ain't cutting nearly anything. It's so slow cutting on this hard steel. So I haven't got a problem, but don't do too much dropping on 1,000 or 3,000 or something that's actually good cutting. It will create a huge problem. There. It's probably very sharp of this. Yeah, that's extremely sharp. It's wet paper, so excuse me for that. There. The tip, as you see. Yeah. It cuts what needs to be cut. Cuts curlicues, etc. If I got some dry paper, I'm gonna find one. There, just wiping my hands. Here, I'm just gonna use refresh it to see where did I put there. Some green and some white. Just gonna move it slightly up. Sorry for this, but there. That's in view. I'm gonna use Park River White or Stockman's White. I think they are the same. Rest in peace, the guy who made them. Can't remember his name, but yeah. And just color that in. You don't need much, it's just refresh the surface. Just to get off any crud and get some new shopping paste. I usually just take a little paper. I'm just gonna rinse this. I completely forgot. Put it aside. Wipe my hands. And yeah, there. I usually just do like this. Just wiping off the biggest pieces so don't hit into my edge. And I got a little more uniform shop. There. The green I already refreshed here the other day, so yeah. To see, of course you don't go edge into, you go edge away, spine leading, but to find your angle, get flat, slowly raise it about there. There it starts snagging. That's about 10. And people think, but you set the micro bevel or final edge at 20-25. Yes, but it's so thin. So when shaving wood too, if I go like this, that's flat. Maybe tilt it out that's where it starts feathering. Because it's so thin that the edge is built up. It's hard to explain, but it's hitting the edge. No, even if you are making the edge at a higher angle, I can't explain it, so don't make me try it. But I'm hitting the edge. So I'm using just the weight of the knife. You don't need to be exact here. You can be 1 degree under or 3-4 degrees under, then you are polishing above the edge. If you are higher, it won't matter. I actually strop higher. I'm stropping at 20 here. As you see, even if I strop here, if I go like this, and there it starts grabbing. If I do sideways, there it starts grabbing. And that's maybe 10 degrees. I want this to be a nice polished edge. Since this I do a lot of push cutting. With wood I do a little batoning. It is rope, it is everything. Just getting off all the compound on my shirt. Now I do something just to make sure I'm hitting the entire edge. I go the other way. Just once, making sure I'm getting the entire edge on tip. Just getting the very tip. There, feeling it on the nail. That wants to rip through my nail. A 3-finger test. That's incredibly keen. So yeah. Dry sheet of paper. See, it's hard to do this while on camera. And that's what's dropping us. So yeah. Can try, I don't know if it does this. It won't stand, so it's extremely thin, this paper, so it's hard to get to stand, as you see. So I'm just cutting off. Trying again. It's barely standing there. I don't have no clue if it does this, but yeah, it's just slides. But as you see, it's push cutting. I've shown this many times that it does this, so I got no worries. If you don't believe my knives are sharp, I've done everything from push cutting leather to push cutting this magazine paper. So yeah, I have nothing to prove. Literally nothing. My knives are sharp. As you see, from I'm gonna try getting the completely heel there. That's more than sharp enough for an outdoor blade like this. Getting it from the heel. It's hard to do this while trying to get it on camera, but hey, I don't really care. I don't care about a best test. I don't care about proving my knives cut because I've shown it. I've shown this on wood, how good it got, so yeah. You can see the polish there. So yeah. Thanks for watching, that's all I got. Yeah, hope you like it, subscribe, like the channel. It really helps me grow. So yeah, have a nice day, or evening, or whatever it is where we are. Have a nice weekend. Knife Sharpening Norway say thanks you for watching. Bye.